The SVI Sports Network returns now with more live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports.
Free basketball. We got 35 seconds left in this one. 16 seconds left in this one. 16 seconds on the clock. 35-35 on the scoreboard. Bears have the basketball. Coming from behind in the JV game as we're getting ready for the varsity to tip off here shortly. This was a blowout for Firth. They took a lead at 30-12 early in the third quarter. It's been all Bear Lake since then, outscoring the Firth Cougars by a score of 23-5, obviously, since then. The Bears have the ball with a chance for the win. 6 seconds now on the clock. Down the lane, up and no good. Rebound to overtime. Nobody could get the rebound. Decent attempt there by the Bear Lake Bears. Riker Nielsen was the one that took the shot. He got a good look, just couldn't get it to go. So we're going to get a late tip-off for the varsity, obviously, as the JV about to go to overtime. 4 minutes will go up on the clock, and we'll give you a pregame show / some free basketball while you wait. And I'd like to thank our sponsors. Let's just do a quick sponsor read while we're waiting. The scoreboard tonight, as with every night, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Visit blmhospital.com.
Our three-point shot sponsor tonight is USAVE Phillips 66. Live to the full, where your pleasure is, where your convenience is their pleasure. I'll get it.
Foul line sponsor is Jacobson Mountain Air, heating and air conditioning for the Bear Lake Valley. Call 208-847-2665.
Don't forget Gunderson's Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place located in Montpelier.
And Northern Title, good deeds done daily. Visit northerntitle.net.
Napa Auto Parts, that's Napa know-how.
Bear Lake Drug, a drugstore, and a great deal more.
Bear Lake Dental Care, where kindness and dentistry meet.
Simplot, committed to safety for their Bear Lake Valley employees and their families. Visit simplot.com.
Don't forget Stephen D. Hammond's Dental, Lenhart Distributing, and Flying S Title. All of our video sponsors for tonight. And don't forget our sports boosters for the radio coverage. The sports boosters that support Bear Lake sports all year long. And if it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to bring you these games. So we appreciate that. Argyle will jump it up for Bear Lake to start this overtime period in JV. This is a rematch, the first rematch of the year for the Bear Lake Bears, as they've got a couple of those this week. The Firth Cougars came to Bear Lake early in the season. I think it was the second game of the year, and beat Bear Lake by 10 down in Montpelier. And so the Bears looking to get some revenge. Played a great game last night as the Bears control the tip. Carlisle comes down with it, hands it over to Crockett. Crockett over to, wow, my mind has gone completely blank. Roberts now to Allman, back to Roberts. Roberts up top with it. He'll go to Argyle. JV here. And we're in overtime. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Try to get it inside to Argyle. And
oh, wow. That had to hurt.
Yeah, probably should have been a jump ball there, but they called the foul on the Bears. That foul goes on Alleman. His first, and we'll shoot foul shots because we're in overtime. And they don't erase the fouls. Just go with the foul count as it was at the end of the fourth quarter. So the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line first attempt tonight on the night is for the Firth Cougars in the JV game. As we got 3.5 minutes left of that, then we'll do obviously the warm-ups. And we'll get going with the varsity game. It's scheduled to start at 7:30. That's obviously not going to happen, as the first foul shot is good for Firth. And the boys have a busy week this week. As I already mentioned, they played last night. Great game as they beat North Fremont. They're here in Firth tonight. They have a night off tomorrow, and then Friday they go to Grace to take on the Grizzlies. Meanwhile, girls basketball action not in action until Friday, and then they have back-to-back. They play Friday and Saturday both at home. They host Firth, these same Firth Cougars, on Friday for the girls team, and then on Saturday they host Soda Springs. So that's what girls have going. The boys go to Grace on Friday, and then they're off on Saturday. Meanwhile, the wrestlers are at Mountain View right now.
Yep.
As the Bears turn it over, shot clock violation. So they're down by 2 in overtime, and they just turned the ball over. And the Mountain View tonight for the wrestlers. Tomorrow the wrestlers travel to Rich High School. So if you're missing some Bear Lake High School sports tomorrow, because it'll be the only night this week we don't have basketball on the air, travel over to Randolph. Randolph's a beautiful place to visit this time of year.
It is a fun place to watch wrestling. I will
It is. It is a good atmosphere for that.
It sure is scenic, man. They got their sagebrush lit up over there. It's Christmas time. It's the holiday season. You really can't beat a bright and shiny sagebrush this time.
Well,
of year,
I'm going to
folks.
defend it because I do actually think it's a pretty drive.
Every now and again you see a cow. It's pretty cool.
Anyway,
I like it because it's quiet.
2.5 minutes left in overtime. As Firth leads it by 2. Bears, force a turnover.
It's going to be a
Be Bear Lake basketball. So the Bears down by 2 here in overtime, but they went on a 23-5 run to end the game in order to force overtime. And only shots made so far in overtime, Firth at the foul line as we go to 2:20 left. And if the boys can play tonight in the varsity game the way they played last night at home, especially in the second half, I like the chances of the Bears getting a revenge game. As like I said, they lost by 10 to Firth. We'll just say that was an interesting call.
He had a different angle. We'll give him that.
Anyway, I do like the boys' chances of getting a revenge win as they played really well last night, especially down the stretch, as the North Fremont Huskies jumped out to an early lead, and the Bears were down by 10 at halftime. That was kind of a roller coaster, and then all of a sudden they lit up on the offensive end. The defense settled in, and the Bears had a great 2.5 quarters, and miss right there. Would have given the Bears the lead. Saxton had a good look at it, but the rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball baseline. They still trail by 2 with 1:42 left. Bears haven't scored in overtime.
Nope.
2 minutes and 18 seconds into the overtime, the Bears have yet to score. And kicked ball. It'll be Bears basketball still after the inbound. Saxton will trigger baseline. And he'll get it in the corner to Argyle. Argyle to Saxton. Saxton dribbles into a 2. He goes inside to Allman instead of shooting. Allman was going up for the rebound, so didn't see the pass. It hit him in the back, and the Bears turn it over. And then, another opportunity there for the Bears, and then we're going to have a timeout taken by Firth. We'll just stay here because we're just still finishing up the JV game. There's interesting officiating. We'll just say that.
You guys are tired.
Again, we have a different angle, and maybe some of you at home would say that was the correct call to get that ball to Firth. But anyway, 37-35 Firth Cougars here in overtime of the JV game. The C-team game was Bear Lake win.
Easy.
Yeah, they pulled ahead and controlled it. They only played 2 quarters, and I think the final score was like 27-12, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Bears won easily in that one. This one has been all 4 quarters. Firth led most of the way. First half was all Firth. Second half until about midway through the third quarter was all Firth. And then about midway through the third quarter, the Bears started to slowly claw the money back in it, and they were able to force overtime at the end. And that's what we're doing here is the overtime. Bears have yet to score in the overtime period. And the Cougars just with the 2 points, but that's the difference in the game. They came from the foul line. On paper, you're saying, okay, the first time they played, it was a 10-point game win for Firth. Was the computer say? And the computer say it should be about a 7 to 8 point win for Firth last time I checked. So Firth is the favorite tonight, especially being the home team and especially having already one win against the Bears on the season. But this is definitely a winnable game. Bears have won 3 of their last 4. They won 2 of the 3 games in the tournament over the holidays in Flaming Gorge. They won their game last night at home against North Fremont, just dropping the game at West Jefferson the other night. A game they played well, fought hard, just couldn't get the win in the end. Nice steal there by Saxton. Bears have the ball, chance to tie this game back up or even take the lead with a long ball. Saxton will set the offense at the top of the key for Bear Lake. Down the lane, Nielsen kicks it back out to Argyle. Argyle dribbles, passes inside to Carlisle, out to Nielsen for three. Bears in the lead, 38-37. This has been a fun game. This JV game's been very entertaining. That was a great shot by Nielsen there, and Bears in the lead. Firth finally gets into the front court. They got to get something going here. There is about 8 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock, but the Cougars are behind by a point. They need some offense. And Saxon, great effort, can't come up with it. Timeout taken before the shot, and it goes in. But the Firth coach had already taken timeout. Doesn't count.
That happened last night as well in the North Fremont game, if you remember right. They coach yelled timeout. I think it was the JV game as
JV
well.
game as well.
Yeah.
That was an unfortunate time.
Yeah.
Timeout.
His team would have had a 2-point lead with 20 seconds left in the game. Instead, they go into the timeout, still down by a point. As we're looking at overtime here, and late into overtime, just under a minute, 22 seconds left here in overtime. And so far this year, Firth has lost to Westside twice. They beat Soda Springs, they beat Grace. Bear Lake and Grace fought to an overtime win, so there's a similar opponent. They've lost to Declo a couple of times, and then they beat South Fremont. So no common opponents except for each other.
Yep.
But they also beat Malad pretty handily by 20, so that's what they've done. They're in the same division as West J and North Fremont, so they're probably curious to see how they compare to those two teams who Bear Lake has played already this last week. Well, on Saturday they played West J at West J, and then last night, obviously, North Fremont. Bears, though, are getting better with each and every game. I thought last night was definitely the best game the Bears have played so far on the season. Definitely the most complete game. They've had some spurts here and there, but last night they played a little bit better, especially from about middle of the second quarter on. Middle of the second quarter, down by 15, came back, won the game. So down to 7-second shot clock, and Bears knock it out of bounds. It'll stay Firth basketball with about 4 seconds on the shot clock is all. 4 seconds is all the Bears have got to get a stop here for, and they'll have, if they can get that stop, they'll still have the 1-point lead. Timeout taken by Firth. That one was more timely, as his team had just thrown it away, and the Bears would have been able to end the game. Meanwhile, the Bears' record on the year, like I said, they've won 3 of their last 4. They lost to Firth. That was actually the first official game of the season, that loss to Firth. Then they lost to Grace in overtime, lost to Teton. That's a game that we revisit Teton next week. Over in the Green River Tournament, the Flaming Gorge Classic, as it were, they lost to Evanston and then beat St. Stephen's and Rollins. Lost to West J, beat North Fremont. So 3 of their last 4, as I've mentioned, were wins. After tonight, Grace on Friday, Teton next week, North Fremont a week from Saturday, and before they start in
North Fremont.
In North Fremont. The girls are there too. That is a game that was originally scheduled for home, but that game, the home game against North, was played last night. The girls and boys both in North Fremont on the 18th of January to make up the game that was canceled in December because of snow. So that's what the boys have coming up. The girls finish up the preseason this week. Yeah. After this week, they're into regular season basketball. They're into the games that count. Snake River, American Falls, and Marsh Valley.
It's kind of crazy to think about, actually, how quickly that's gone.
The first of those games is next Wednesday in Snake River. I'm not in Snake River, in Bear Lake, when they host Snake River. And that game will be a 7 o'clock varsity start. Long 3 on the way, no good. Rebound. It's going to be picked up by the Bears. That should do it. A reach-in foul will send Carlisle to the line. He'll shoot 2 with 4.5 seconds left. If he makes them both, the Bears can probably do no worse than a double overtime. If he misses even one, though, Firth has a chance here with 4.5 seconds left. What a finish, 26-7, since about midway through the third quarter in favor of the Bears. They have dominated after the early going when Firth built that lead. to foul. Carlisle will have another. Bears up by 1. He misses. Rebound is taken down by Firth. And then the Firth Cougars follow down, turn the ball over. And the kid didn't even look like, where's the foul call? He knew he got caught up on his own feet. I didn't see any contact, so I like the no call. Bears will take a timeout. This is going to take forever. If you're just joining us saying, what's the score in the varsity game? Well, the varsity game has not started yet. We're still in JV, and it's a 1.8 seconds left is all in the game, but we're in overtime. Bears lead it by 1 at 38-37, Bears basketball. So Bears basically just need to inbound it, draw the foul, go to the foul line. Doesn't matter if they really make it, because the chances of Firth getting the rebound and getting a shot off and making it are pretty slim. And this is one of those times, if we were, doing the famous ESPN win probability chart, it would probably be like 99.9% for Bear Lake right now.
Yeah, but there's always that 0.1.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Okay, while we're waiting for this timeout here in overtime of the JV game, Nate, give us your keys to the game.
Jared, my keys to the game for Bear Lake, if this game ever starts, because this is the land where time's standing still. We got like 12 timeouts in the last 4 seconds. But my key to the game tonight is probably going to be, honestly, I don't even remember the last game against Firth. But we've played Firth this season?
Yeah, the Firth won by 10 in Bear Lake, first game of the year.
Yeah, if I remember right, honestly, it always comes back to defense with me. So just play smart on the defensive end. Shut down the inside. Make them shoot the long ball. To me, the three-pointer in the high school level is such a low probability comparatively to a layup. So for me, I would just say guard the interior. If you guard the interior, you're going to be just fine. Firth, a very well-coached team. They've been competitive throughout the year. So I guess my key to the game tonight is just play smart defensively, and the offense will come to you as time's going. As you're seeing this team starting to click on the offensive side of the ball, so you really can't. I mean, as long as you're playing well on the defensive side, I like what we've been doing in the last couple of games on the offensive side of the ball. So I honestly think defensive intensity wins the game tonight, Jared.
Okay. So you're all about the defense. Lisa, do you got a key to the game for us?
Well, I really liked what we saw in the second half of the game yesterday. I think you've got to keep the energy up. And, like we talked about last night, Gavin Robinson came out in the second half. He made those big blocks when it really mattered. It turned the whole trajectory of the game. He just by blocking the shots and working hard underneath, it changed the whole momentum, the energy. Our team started working harder and working more together. I felt like I just want to see more of that tonight. I just want to see that hustle, that grit, that fight for every rebound, fight for every, shot. I liked what we saw in the second half. I want to see more.
Agreed. I like what you said there. I like the word grit. And we talked last night in our broadcast that, hey, we want a sponsor for the gritty performance of the game, and we might have one.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in sponsoring that or any other part of our broadcast,
we're
such as
the halftime,
a pregame, insert your sponsorship here. Pregame show here.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we can create anything you want.
I like the grittiness of the way they played. So my key to the game is going to be defend the perimeter. In Bear Lake, Firth only scored 59 points, and which I say only, that's not a lot, but it's a good amount for a high school basketball game. They had 7 made 3-point shots in that game. And so that's going to be my key to the game, is defend the perimeter. Adams and Arriaga were their 2 leading scorers with 19 and 15 points. And then Kilpack also had 15, and those 3 combined had 6 made 3-point shots. So you got to play defense on those guys, especially the perimeter. Make them earn it inside rather than giving them the outside looks is going to be my key to the game. For the Bear Lake Bears, is make them earn it on the inside, and I'm going to back up yours, Lisa, with the grit. The Bears need to get gritty tonight and play with heart. When they started playing with heart in that second half, that's when the game turned around. The Bears were down by 15 about midway through the third quarter. They just turned it around. When they you mentioned those 3 blocks on 3 straight possessions by Robinson. And Bears were down by 10 when that happened, and they went on a run where they scored on all 3 of those possessions. A 3-point shot, a Phillips 66 3-point make in that, and then using the Jacobs Mountain Air foul line to go make a traditional 3-point play, and all of a sudden it would go from a 10-point deficit to a 2-point game in just a matter of a couple possessions. And after that, the Bears had all the momentum and were able to finish it off. Another gritty play. I talked to a few people at school today, and Coach Saunders, I'll give him a shout out. He's done a little bit of coaching basketball, and for him, the key to the game, the play of the game, is the Bears looked like they had turned it over. Tafoya lost the ball. It was going to go out of bounds. It was going to be a turnover. Bears were up by 2. Chance for North Fremont to come down, tie the game up, or even take the lead. And the hustle play by Birch to run that ball down in the corner, save the possession. The Bears ultimately scored on the possession to go back up by 4 late in the game. So that was just one of those gritty plays.
Yep. And
those 2 plays by those sophomores, the blocks by Robinson, who that was only his second, if I recall this year, second varsity game of his career, and he was one of the key players in a key moment. And then that gritty play by the sophomore Broxton Birch. Those were huge. Those were big.
Yeah.
And that's what why we're thinking about, and we think we have a sponsor for the gritty player of the game, because it's just that's what the coaches are looking for, is that heart. Talent will only take you so far. It's how you play, how you want to win, how you act when you're out there on the court, how hard you work can change the game. So that's my key. All right, we finally got the varsity kids out there warming up. About 12 more minutes on the clock. We've had quite a long pregame show to this point already. Let's take a quick break. Let us catch our breath. We'll be back in about 2 minutes here on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier. Online at bearlakedental.com or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
I'm Ben Olson. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and just joined Bear Lake Memorial. I'm originally from here in Bear Lake, graduated in 1997, went to undergrad in Pocatello at Idaho State, went to med school in Missouri, residency in Ohio, practiced in Northeastern Oregon for the last 11 years. I'm excited to come back home. You kind of grow up doing a lot of outdoor stuff like hiking and hunting and fishing, and that's kind of what we would do as a family. Now, as your kids get older, your life is focused around them, so then you chase them around with all their sporting activities, and that's been a lot of fun. Probably the thing I love the most is taking somebody that can't find relief and offering them a surgical alternative and seeing the change that can happen. My goal for my patients is to earn your trust and take you through that journey and offer them some relief from what they're suffering from.
Live coverage of local high school sports continues now on the SVI Sports Network.
Welcome back into Firth High School. Still 0-0 with 10 minutes left in warm-ups. We had free basketball in the JV game. They went to overtime. Bears pulled out the overtime win, outscoring Firth 3-2 in that overtime period. Held Firth without a made basket. Their points in overtime all came via the foul line. So the Bears ended that game on a 27-7 run. Is that right? Yeah, 39-37.
That's what you keep saying.
27-7 run from about mid-third quarter to the end of the game as the Bears went down 30-12. Coach Birch called timeout. And from then on, the Bears defense just shut down Firth and fought their way back in it, earned the way to overtime, and won it there. So Great JV game for the Bears. We're looking for that same from the varsity, for the boys to come out and put up a gritty performance. We saw about 2.5 quarters of great basketball from the Bears last night. Starting about mid-second quarter, they started really playing. They played even in the second and then won both the third and fourth quarters last night. And if they can do that for a full game, as we talked to Coach Ward last night, that's what he's looking for as well, is a full game where the Bears play from the opening tip to the final buzzer. They play that solid basketball that they know they're capable of, and they showed last night. And one thing I also want to mention about last night's game, well, a couple things. First of all, Nate wasn't there, so the Bears win. We'll give him credit for not being there. Nate reminded us on the way up here, some of the best games we've ever broadcast in Bear Lake history. Nate hasn't been in the building.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that it might be my fault.
Yeah.
But
it could
since
be.
I was gone last night, you're welcome. That you guys got an instant classic.
It could be just a combination, because if you remember, there was a fantastic football game over in Soda that was a lot of fun. That Lisa and I weren't there during COVID. That we were home. We were on quarantine. That was a great game. Then when Bear Lake football ended their West Side's winning streak, Nate was on a cruise,
which was kind of really nice, actually. That was 2 wins in a row. It's like I'm on a plane going to Mexico and the Bears win. You can't beat that.
So, maybe it's one of us, or Lisa and I together have to both be gone, or you gone. Either way, it's a win for the Bears.
Personally, I think my favorite broadcast in history was that football game against Soda Springs, where you can hear me in the background fall into the bleachers because my legs were frozen.
That was fantastic.
Anyway, back to
you're over there saying, and the bleachers made a fantastic tackle on Nate, and I'm laughing in the background.
The other thing I was going to mention about last night, except for the fact that you weren't there, was that the Bears had a team effort. Last night, we've mentioned the gritty performances from a couple players already, but it was a team effort. Caden Anderson had the game-sealing shot. It wasn't the game-winning shot because the Bears were already up by 2, but with less than 10 seconds left in the game, he goes down and gets 2 more to put the Bears up by 4, and pretty much that was it. The game was over. So he had a gritty performance there. Kaysen Warner, double digits. I think he had 16 points last night, and he was doing a lot of work on the boards as well. Broxton Birch, it wasn't just that one play. He had double-digit scoring as well and did a lot of hard work on both the offense and defensive board. Jack Hume put in 17 points to lead all Bear Lake.
Including the half-court shot.
Yeah, including the half-court shot at the first half buzzer that cut the lead from 13 to 10 and kind of was the beginning of the momentum change for the Bears, even though it was the half-court. Even though it was halftime. The Bears came out in the second half and played a lot, stingier. And then Tafoya didn't do a lot of scoring. He had 6 or 7, but the key was when he scored. In the first half, when the Bears couldn't seem to score, Tafoya came in and he scored most of his points in that first half and kind of kept the Bears in touch, kind of kept the Bears relevant during that first half. So his scoring wasn't in the key moments at the end of the game, but the key for him and why he was such a gritty performance is he scored when nobody else seemed to be able to. So a great all-around team effort. As I talked to the kids at school today, talked to several of them, that's what they said as well, and that's what they felt as well, is they were grateful for the fact that their teammates, them and their teammates, put a game together and were able to get that team victory. They weren't selfish. There was some great passing, finding the open man, and helping each other out and trusting each other on defense is what was impressive there. So great team win for the Bears last night, and I hope that they can do it again. We've had some of these players we just mentioned have great individual games this year, but an individual can't win in these kind of, in basketball very often. It takes a team, and last night they finally put it together as a team. The adjustments the coaching staff made at halftime, and and the other thing that I'm going to say is it's sometimes in the game of basketball and volleyball, to me, are the two games that are about momentum more than any other sport. Football, the thing with momentum with football is you create a turnover as a defense, it may not create momentum because now the defense goes and sits down, the offense has to come out. It's a different group of players. It's a different feel. It's a different set of skills. But in basketball, you get a big play at one end like that block shot, and then all of a sudden you go to the other end and that same team, same players get to go be the ones that go down there and make the shot. Momentum's huge, and Gavin Robinson coming off the bench and having those blocks, that was the momentum changer. And the teammates fed off of it. At the other end, Jack Hume scored five of those 8 points I just mentioned earlier off those blocks. And all of a sudden you go from a game that looked like North Fremont was in control, and boom, there it is. It's all about the momentum, and that's why one player can make a difference sometimes even in a team game, because they fed off each other, and that was what was impressive. As soon as the momentum started, they just fed off each other. You can see them high-fiving each other. Mm-hmm. The other shout out I'm going to give, this is totally going to seem like I'm coming out of left field, but I'm going to put my other hat on, not my broadcaster hat on. After the game, there was some chatter going back and forth. One of their fans was not very happy about how the game went. He started getting very vocal. A couple of our fans responded. And while I'm sitting there trying to deal with that and finish up the post-game show, I looked down on the court, and the players and coaches weren't acting like that at all.
No.
In fact, just the opposite. One of the North Fremont players with blood coming down his eyebrow because he got an elbow to the face on the last play was out there joking and talking to the kid that had bloodied his eyebrow. And you could tell by the looks on their faces, the expressions and stuff, they were not, that conversation was not negative. And I actually spoke, because that was Caden Anderson. I actually spoke to Caden today and said, what were you guys talking about? He said, it was all good. It's all
about football.
Yeah, we were talking about the football game because these guys have played each other in football. He's like, we were having a great conversation. Mm-hmm. There was no animosity. There was no anger. And that's what a lesson I think I want to take from that is, if the kids on the court who are the ones out there bloodying each other up can be okay with the way the game went, and as fans maybe a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it myself.
Me too.
Maybe we need to take a lesson from the kids on the court who are okay with, the kid is literally bleeding because of the elbow he took. And by the way, if there was going to be a foul call, it probably would have been on the kid that was bleeding because of the situation. So it wasn't a dirty play at all, and he knew that. And he's sitting there talking to the kid that made him bleed and saying, hey, great game. And yeah, do you remember in football when this happened? And that's just what, maybe we can all take a lesson from that, I guess, is my moral of my story.
Well, I think truthfully sometimes people can forget that it's really just a game at the end of the day. And, as much as these guys want to win games, at the end of the day, they're just kids.
Yeah.
It's really not that serious. They're just kids enjoying a game while they're in high school. And, it goes by fast. And there's really no reason to have any hatred or animosity towards other teams' fans or anything like that. I think these kids know better than that. They're out here just to have fun. At the end of the day, win or lose, it's a game. You're out here to enjoy, have a good time. It really doesn't matter. So I think you can take a lesson from that. Like I said, I think parents can learn things from their kids as well. And I think at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to understand that. It's not that serious. It's a game. It's played by kids. They're here to have fun. It's not life or death.
Absolutely. And, hey, guess what? We're almost ready for basketball.
We are.
We've already had over 35 minutes on the air, and we haven't had tip-off yet because we went on the air about the time we normally do, about 15 minutes before the scheduled tip-off, and we were right at the end of the JV game, if you're just joining us, and that game went to overtime. Bears won it by 1 in overtime, but there was like 17 or 18 timeouts during that overtime. There was only 5 points scored total between the two teams, and 5 timeouts taken total between the two teams, and a lot of foul shots. So that's why we're way late, and so we're getting ready for the starting lineups, national anthem, opening tip-off. And we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll bring you those starting lineups at the start of this game right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I grew up in Provo, Utah, played football at BYU, medical school at the University of Utah, then did my residency at the family medicine residency of Idaho, and then after residency came here. I love the beauty, the place geographically here. I love the people, and I love that there's a certain type of get-it-done person that lives here and thrives here. Really any sports me and my family love. Jet skiing, being on the lake, ATVs, power sports, that kind of stuff. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And by KVSI The Wave, the Bear Lake Valley's hit music station on 105.3 FM. Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
On the SVI Sports Network, this is Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa.
All right, they have some technical difficulties getting their microphone going tonight. I don't know what that's like at all. It definitely didn't happen last night at home. And so we just barely got the national anthem done. They're doing the starting lineups right now, starting for Bear Lake. And it's a good thing we can see them because they're still having those technical difficulties. We definitely can't hear the PA announcer, but Caden Anderson, Kason Warner, Jack Hume, Broxton Birch, and Logan Keach getting the start tonight for the Bear Lake Bears. So you got the two seniors, a junior, and two sophomores starting for the Bear Lake Bears as they are in their road blue uniforms trimmed in black and white. And the Firth Cougars, who are in white with royal blue trim, are ready to come out now. Your first starter is Quentin Hall. He is a 5'9" sophomore, so they do start also a sophomore. Number 2 is Bryson Anderson. He is a 6'2" sophomore. Number 10, Michael Adams, a 6-foot senior. Number 11, Ricky Arriaga, a 5'11" junior. And number 24, Wyatt Kilpack, a 6'4" sophomore. So first starts 3 sophomores, a junior and a senior. And in that game in Bear Lake, the leading scorers were Adams, Arriaga, and Kilpack for the Firth Cougars, as we already mentioned. And for Bear Lake, I forgot to tell you who did the scoring for Bear Lake. I got to pull my iPad back out here.
Yeah, it's on the other iPad. I can't help you.
Yeah, we did this game. This is one of those games that Lisa was not with us.
Yes, I was. It was at home. We just didn't have this iPad.
So we'll pull out the other iPad here. Bear Lake boys in that game, the leading scorer was Hume with, it was Keach with 13. He had a great game that night. And Hume had 12. It was the first game of the season. Anderson chipped in 3, Carlisle 3, Birch 6, and Ewing 3. The Bears only made 4 3-point shots and 7 out of 9 from the foul line that night. Birch will jump it up against Kilpack. Sophomore versus sophomore in the center court circle, controlled by the Cougars, and Hall will bring it into the front court. He goes to Anderson, now to Adams. Adams goes inside to Kilpack, corner, Arriaga, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound to Anderson on the baseline. He'll get it out. Hall will shoot the three. So their first two attempts are both from three. They're both misses. And this time the rebound is knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Bear Lake Bears as Birch just hustled in there to knock it away because it was going to be an easy rebound for Hall. He couldn't control it, so it'll be Firth basketball. They're 0 for 2 on the game, both. Long balls were misses. Anderson will shoot the third three-point shot and the third miss. This time Warner is able to secure the rebound for the Bears. So Firth gets 3 good looks at it. They're all from three-point range. They all miss. And Hume with the ball on the Bears' first offensive possession. He'll spin, drive the lane, hand it to Keach underneath. Keach up and in with the left hand. Assist to Hume. Basket by Keach. Keach has 2. He had 13 to lead all scorers against Firth down there in Bear Lake. Hall with it at the top. He'll go to the center court circle, set the offense. Bears in a man-to-man. And Adams for 3. Yes. So they shot 3 3-point shots on their first possession and went 0 for 3. This time they get the Phillips 66 U-Save long ball to go and take the lead at 3-2. I mentioned they had 7 made three-pointers in Bear Lake. Warner with it. He goes up top to Hume. Hume over to Anderson. Anderson to Keach. Keach foul line jumper. Yes! He's got 4 points. The Bears lead it 4-3. So he picks up where he left off last time these two teams played. And Hall falls down with it, and he's on the ground. That's got to be a travel.
Yeah.
How does that not a travel?
He shifted butt cheeks 4 times.
And the Bears are going to come up away with it. Hume, as he goes up, misses, but Warner gets the rebound. And he'll put it up softly, but no good. And then the rebound is going to be a foul on Hume. The Bears came up with that ball and had their opportunities, but I don't know how they didn't call travel, as Hall was just sitting there spinning in circles on the floor with the ball in his hands. It should have been a travel call easily. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter because the Bears came up with it in the long run and then missed the shot. Hall with it in the front court. He'll hand to Adams near half court. Adams will set the offense. Adams has the only make for the Cougars. He made the three-pointer on the last possession. Anderson for 3. Yes. Wow, they are now 2 out of 5. They've made the last 2 in a row that they've taken from three-point range. The Phillips 66 U-Save three-point shot, that was my key to the game. I said the Bears gave up 7 of them in Bear Lake. They've already given 2 makes up tonight. And every shot that Firth has taken has been a three-point attempt. They have not attempted a 2 in the game. Anderson with it for the Bears. He goes to Birch on the elbow. 13-second shot clock in the corner to Warner. It goes inside to Keach. He's fouled. Keach has a pretty good size advantage. Not necessarily height advantage. Kilpack is about the same height. But Keach outweighs him by probably 25, 30 pounds. And so that's why the Bears go into him a lot against this Firth Cougars is he does have a size advantage, and he takes advantage of it. He would have it in three-point range, speaking of Keach right there, and better not shoot that. Down the lane, Anderson puts it up, expecting a foul, no call. And the rebound goes to Kilpack. Here comes Hall with it in the front court, behind the back dribble. And he goes to Adams. Adams back out to Hall. Hall around the screen. Now he'll drive the lane. Spin move, flip it up, no good. That's the first 2-point attempt and is missed. But the rebound to Kilpack, and he gets it to go. 8-4, the Cougars doubling up the Bears in the early going. Only 3 made baskets, and where the Bears have 2, but 2 of those were threes for the Cougars, and that's the difference in the game. Down the lane goes Birch. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. He'll shoot a pair for the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line.
That foul goes on Hall, his first.
So Broxton Birch will go to the line. Oh, no, they're going to say no. It was not shooting. Even the official thought it was a shooting foul. One of the officials would line it up, and the other official said, no, on the ground. So we're not going to get some attempts from the foul line. It'll just be Bear Lake basketball. Ball comes into Birch. He'll go over to Anderson near the center court circle. He'll set the offense on the right side, directing some traffic. He now hands to Hume. Hume will take the 3. He misses, but the rebound to Keach. Keach puts it on the floor, gets it knocked away. He'll now go to Birch. Birch fumbles it, but it goes into the hands of Warner. Back to Birch for 3. Phil 66 for the U-Save 3-point make for the Bears. It's a 1-point game at 8-7. Ball goes inside to Anderson. Great pass. Keach tried to get the steal when he couldn't take the ball away on the steal. It put him out of position and led to an easy bucket. 30-second timeout taken by the Bears. We'll take it right here on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit USAVE Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with USAVE Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
You're watching Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa on the SVI Sports Network.
10-7 on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. We'll come back to live action. Boston Firth made a 3 just a minute ago. To Tafoya. Tafoya for 2. No good off the front rim. To the hands of Anderson for the Cougars. And Tafoya replaced Jack Hume during that timeout. No substitutions on the court for Firth yet in the game. With 3:42 left to go in the first quarter, Adams goes over to Hall. Hall has the ball tipped as he gets it to Kilpatrick, but it goes to him anyway. Arriaga, who had a great game in Bear Lake, has not scored yet, but he gets it inside to Anderson, who does score, and Anderson will go to the line with a chance to complete the 3-point play.
Hall coming out of the game, Jolly in for him. That foul went on Warner, his first.
So it was a 1-point game just a minute ago at 8-7, and all of a sudden with that foul shot make from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line by Anderson, it's a 6-point lead as Tafoya against pressure gets the ball into the front court now to Anderson. It's just man-to-man pressure right now as Anderson goes over to Birch. Birch goes inside to Warner. He's fouled from behind by Jolly, I believe.
Yep. His first. 3rd team foul for the Cougars. The Cougars. Almost forgot who we were playing.
And Gavin Robison will check in for the first time tonight. Logan Keach goes to the bench with 4 of Bear Lake's 7 points. Warner with the ball on the inbound. And he'll go to Tafoya. Tafoya will now set the offense. Goes to Robinson. Robinson looking inside to Warner. Nothing there, but he gets the ball knocked away and taken away by Adams. That's the experience of a senior that is able to knock that ball away. Arriaga with it quickly to the other end. Goes inside to Anderson. Anderson spin move, nothing there, so he goes outside to Kilpack. Now to Jolly. And with 2:50 left in the quarter and 20 seconds on the shot clock, the Cougars reset. Arriaga around the screen, goes to Kilpack. Kilpack inside to Anderson. They got the double screen, and then the screener just rolls to the hoop wide open as the Bears got caught up in the double team. And 15-7, just like that, in favor of the Firth Cougars. Birch with it. Goes to Robinson. Robinson will go to Tafoya. Tafoya to Warner. Warner looking inside. Can't get it to Birch. So he'll come back out to the outside to Birch, and then around the horn it goes to Anderson. Anderson looking inside. He'll have to come to Birch. Birch over to Tafoya. Tafoya fakes the 3, then drives. Baseline jumper, no good. Long. Tipped out of bounds by Birch. It'll be Firth basketball. Tafoya had a good look at it there on the baseline, just a little bit long, just barely caught the rim on the backside.
Maddox Howell into the game, replacing Anderson.
Anderson's had a good start to this game. He's the leading scorer, I believe, for Firth already. Jolly with it to Arriaga. Arriaga out to Kilpack. Kilpack to Jolly. Jolly open for 3, no good. Rebound, foul on the Bears.
The foul goes on to Tafoya, his first.
So the Firth Cougars will trigger from the baseline. They're up 15-7 here in the first quarter. Jolly will be the trigger man. Gets it into Arriaga, who's fouled.
He just picked up a second one. Yep. Tafoya with his second.
Arriaga found himself open underneath, and Tafoya, as he tried to recover, commits the foul, sends Arriaga to the line. Chance to complete the 3-point play. Jacobson Mountain Air, for all your heating and air conditioning needs in the Bear Lake Valley, contact Jacobson Mountain Air. They sponsor the foul shots in these games. And Arriaga misses, rebound to Birch. 10-point lead. 9 unanswered points right now for the Firth Cougars. Tafoya with it in the backcourt. He'll get it to Anderson. Anderson looking for the cutter in. Birch gets it to him. Birch spins, and he'll have to come back outside to Anderson. Is knocked away by Jolly out of bounds. It'll still be Bear Lake basketball. 1:26 left in the quarter, and after the Bears had cut it to a 1-point game, it's a 9-0 run since then.
Hume coming in, replacing Anderson for the Bears.
And the Bears trail by 10 at 17-7 on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, you can count on them to care. And Jack Hume is carrying for the ball right now. He'll dribble down the lane, stop, shoot, score. Jack Hume comes in and makes an immediate impact. Gets 2 points and cuts the lead and stops the bleeding. The 9-0 run is over, and the Bears are down by 8. As Jolly goes down the lane, he'll kick in the corner to Arriaga. Arriaga will elevate from 3, miss it. Warner gets the rebound. With 1 minute left in the quarter, the Bears look to cut further into that Firth Cougar lead. As Hume hands it to Birch. Birch will hand it to Foya on the dribble handoff. Now back to Hume. Bears looking for mismatches there. Hume spins down the lane, puts it up, no good. They call him for the travel. I think he got his feet caught up just a little bit there and stumbled with it before he could get the shot off.
All right, substitutions. Hall and Adams back in the game for the Cougars, and out goes Howell and Kilpack. Nope, Kilpack's still out there.
So
Jolly.
They're going to make Broxton Birch take a break for a second. I think he's got some blood on him, so Logan Keach checks in for him real quick as well during that dead ball. And Brox will go get some a Band-Aid on. I'm not sure where the blood is. I can't see it, but the referee walked him over to the bench. And is Kilpack. Easy bucket.
Too easy.
As again, the Bears defense got caught trying to get in front of the pass, and if you try to get in front of it, you either get the steal or you give up the easy points, and twice the Bears have given up the easy points trying to get that steal. Bears going to Robinson, back out to Warner. Warner to Hume. Hume, quick three. Yes! There's a Phillips 66 U-Save 3-point shot. 19-12. As 5 quick points for the Bears from Jack Hume. 3-point shot on the way, missed it. Kilpack with it inside, misses. Tafoya will clean up the rebound. He'll shoot after the buzzer. Wouldn't have gone anyway, and it wouldn't have counted. But 19-12, 7-point game in favor of the Firth Cougars. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the second quarter right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
With the helpful hardware, folks. When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
You're watching Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa on the SVI Sports Network.
Second quarter action here with the crew in Firth. Bears trail on the Hospital scoreboard by score 19-12. Big lead of that first quarter was 10, and the Bears cut it to 7 at the end of the quarter. Jack Hume with 5 straight off the bench. After coming back in. Keach had Warner right open, but Anderson made a great play on the ball to get the steal for Firth. It would have been an easy bucket. It was the right pass, just better defense. And Arriaga with it now for Firth. Now inside, Anderson tries to go inside to Adams, a little bit too high for him, and it's a turnover. So the Bears have a chance to cut further into that lead. Anderson out there with Hume, Ewing, Keach, and Warner for Bear Lake. In the corner, Hume, 3-point shot on the way, no good. Rebound though, out of bounds off of Firth. Logan Keach fought for it. Firth knocks it away from him and out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 32-second shot clock. Hume would trigger baseline for the Bears. And he'll look inside. He gets it to Anderson
Great
for the layup.
pass.
Good. Nice assist by Hume on the inbounds. Anderson scores, and it's a 5-point game. So the Bears have cut that 10-point lead in half. They're on a 7-2 run right now, are the Bear Lake Bears. Three-pointer on the way, and no good. And the rebound goes to Jack Hume. That was Howell with his first shot attempt is awry, and the Bears have a chance to cut further into that lead. This is kind of what they did last night against North Fremont. Bears are just doing it earlier, not waiting till the third quarter to fight their way back. Anderson goes around the screen, and then he'll have to come back out to Ewing. Now to Anderson. Anderson open, but out there beyond NBA three-point range, so decided not to take it. Inside to Keach. Keach with a little floater, no good. Rebound is going to be a foul on the Bears. Just a little bit short. Keach had a good look at it. Just left it about 3 inches short on that shot. And
that foul goes on Ewing.
First foul of the second quarter on the Bears. Hall will bring the ball up court. Anderson just picking him up full court. It's just a man-to-man, not actually a press. Anderson just says, hey, I'm going to play man-to-man anyway. I'll pick you up on the baseline instead of letting you get into the front court first. Kilpack straight away from three, leaves it short. Long rebound to Anderson. Warner had good position, but when the ball comes out for that far, Kilpack was able to run it down. Adams will reset the offense for the Firth Cougars. Drizzles over, dribble handoff to Hall. Hall comes back to the top, now reverses, step back to Kilpack on the elbow. Kilpack looking inside. Nothing there, so he'll drive, kick it to Anderson. Anderson now goes baseline. Great move by Warner to pick him up. He goes back to Kilpack, up and in. Anderson got cut off baseline, but it was a good job by him to find the open man. And the lead is back to 7 and 21-14. Birch off the bench will come back into the next dead ball for the Bears. Warner goes over to Anderson. Anderson being defended out there by Howell. Goes to Hume. Hume for the three-point shot, and no good. And the rebound goes to Kilpack. So the Phillips 66 long ball doesn't go for Hume, and here come the Firth Cougars. Hall loses it as Anderson knocks away from behind, but it'll stay Firth Cougar basketball.
Carlisle coming into the game for Keach.
That's Birch, 22.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. The thumb was apparently what was bleeding, because that's where he's got the Band-Aid. And then for Firth, Arriaga came in for somebody. I'll catch who it was in a minute. Hall with it out at top. He'll go to Howell. Howell up top to Adams. Adams over to Arriaga. Arriaga looking inside to Kilpack, not there. He goes to Hall. Hall for three, yes. Bears defense was there. He just got just a sliver of room and buries the three. Just like that, the Bears a minute ago had the ball down by 5 with a chance to cut in further into the lead, and they're down by 10. Just that quickly as Firth makes a couple baskets in a row. Ewing drives the lane, up and in. Great strong move there by Ewing just to barrel his way down the lane and score to cut the lead to 8. Howell, baseline, he'll go to Kilpack. Kilpack with a nice pump fake, but he misses the shot. Rebound to Arriaga, and he gets the bucket to go. So the Bears force the miss, but can't get the offensive rebound. Anderson with it. He hands it to Ewing. Ewing will go back to Anderson. Anderson on the elbow. Anderson being defended by Hall. He'll spin, kick it out to Birch. Birch will go to Hume with 4 minutes left in the first half. 10-point game. Hume down the lane.
He traveled. Did they call that? Or
Yes, that's what they called it. They blew the whistle, and I was with you. I thought they were going to call the travel, but they just both...
They hesitated.
Like, okay, are they going to call the foul instead of the travel?
Tafoya in for Hume, and Hall coming out for the Cougars, coming back in for him, Anderson.
Adams will bring the ball into the front court for the Firth Cougars. They have that 10-point lead. Bears had cut it to 5. Firth right back up by 10. And then an air ball from 3. Kilpack can't control the rebound, though. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. As Howell had an open look at it, can't get it to go. That would have been almost a backbreaker for the Bears. Anderson will bring the ball into the front court. The Bears will set the offense down by 10. Bears have played a good game. They just can't seem to get over the hump. And they call an offensive foul on Birch.
Yep, that'll be his first.
And then Adams, Coach Adams, will call a 30-second timeout for the Cougars. We'll take it here on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Live coverage of local high school sports continues now on the SVI Sports Network.
And here we are back at Firth High School, still in the second quarter. As we've had an overtime game in JV, a late start to this varsity game. We got 3:34 still in the first half. And Bears trail the Firth Cougars by 10 at 26-16. And now Adams is going to have to go off the court for Firth. He's got blood on his jersey, and I think they're going to let him stay in there. They're just trying to clean it off. They're not putting in a sub yet, so we have a delay here. I think the reason they made Birch go out and they're letting Adams stay in is Birch was the one that was actually bleeding, where Adams, it's not his blood, it's just on his jersey. So he gets that cleaned off, and we're ready to start some basketball. Firth with the ball. Down, they have the 10-point lead at 26-16. Anderson's been the man tonight for Firth. He's got 10 points already, as Arriaga will now go to Anderson. Anderson drives, kicks to Adams. Adams traveled with it. He took one step before he put that ball on the floor. Just a little hesitation trying to get his man out of position, which worked, but that's because he had the travel as to his advantage. Bears with the basketball. Birch on the dribble handoff. Will hand back to Anderson. Anderson to Birch in the corner. Pump fake the three. Dribble handoff back to Anderson up top. Anderson will go across, hand off to Tafoya. Tafoya across the top, hand off to Ewing. Ewing all the way to the opposite corner. Now he finds his way down the lane, loses the ball as he goes up. Good move to get the good open look, but he lost the handle on the ball as he went up. Adams for three at the other end. No. Rebound to Ewing. He'll quickly push it in the front court. He goes to Tafoya. Tafoya stops, long two, feet on the line. No good anyway. Rebound to Anderson. Anderson will push it. And then he'll stop and come back out to Jolly, who will set the offense for Firth with 2:25 left in the first half. 10-point game, 26-16. Anderson, top of the key, goes to Jolly. Jolly cut off as he tries to drive. And then inside to Anderson, and that's been the problem. Oh, he missed it this time. Adams throws the rebound off of Birch and out of bounds. The problem the Bears have had is when they come up with the help defense, then they leave a man wide open, and that time the Cougars didn't score, but they still have the ball after the rebound goes out of bounds. Adams with it in the corner in three-point range, goes into Anderson. Anderson spins it up, no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line. He'll shoot a pair from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line.
That goes on Ewing. That'll be his second.
Jacobson Mountain Air, sorry about that.
I was just going to say, and third team foul. Go ahead.
Jacobson Mountain Air, for all your heating and air conditioning needs in the Bear Lake Valley, contact Jacobson Mountain Air. Anderson, who already has 10 in the game, misses the first foul shot.
Paul coming back into the game, replacing Jolly.
2:03 left in the first half, 26-16. And early on, it was a back-and-forth affair. Bears had it at a one-point game at 8-7. And then it's been all Cougars since then. Both foul shots missed, but the rebound, the long rebound, came out to Hall. And Adams will reset the offense at half court. Dribble over to the elbow on the far side. Come back to Arriaga, three-point range to Anderson. Anderson inside to Kilpack. Good recovery there by Ewing, makes him miss. The second attempt by Kilpack, the foul is called on Ewing this time.
That'll be his third.
And he was kind of in no man's land when he got that. When the rebound came down, their arms were already tangled, so as soon as Kilpack forced that shot up, it was going to be a foul, almost no matter what Ewing did on that one. Kilpack gets the foul shot to go. He's now got 7 in the game.
All right, Carlisle coming into the game for Ewing.
Again, more shots from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line for the Firth Cougars. Kilpack there. He made the first one. Misses the second. Rebound this time goes to Warner. So they go 1 out of 3 from the foul line on that trip. And it could have been worse for the Bears there, as they only are down by 11. Tafoya with it. He'll flip it to Birch at the foul line. Birch double team, spins down the lane. Layup up and in. Nice move by Birch to spin out of the double team and get the floater. Quickly up ahead to Adams. He fakes the three, drives, throws it up, can't get it to go, but Anderson comes down with the rebound. Oh, I don't know how he didn't travel with that. But Hall will reset the offense between the circles out near midcourt. Hall dribbles over to the right side and gives it back to Adams. Adams to Arriaga. Arriaga to Anderson. Anderson's quick and he plays quick. Adams for three, yes. There was no daylight there. Birch was right in his face, and Adams nails it anyway. And it's the biggest lead of the game, courtesy of the Phillips 66 USAVE three-point make there by Adams. A 12-point game. Carlisle with it. He goes up to Birch. Birch over to Anderson. Anderson back to Birch. Now to Tafoya. 35 seconds left in the half. Anderson goes down the lane, up and no good, but he'll go to the line. He'll shoot a pair, thanks to Jacobson Mountain Air for sponsoring our foul line.
That foul on Kilpack, his first and the first team foul of the quarter.
And with 31.7 seconds left, 30-second break here on the SVI Sports Network. We'll take it.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
Your leader for live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports. This is the SVI Sports Network.
30-18 at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Firth Cougars have the lead. As we come back, Anderson's going to go to the foul line for Bear Lake to take 2 attempts for the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. The Bears have played decent defense. In fact, a couple of these long balls that have gone in have had a hand in the face. Birch was in position on that last one, and Adams just with a quick release gets it to go. Every time the Bears have looked like they can put together a couple stops in a row, might get back in the game, the Cougars find a way to make the three-point shot as Caden Anderson makes the first from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. That's his third point on the night. Cuts the lead to 11 at 30-19. The Bears have not led in this game. Oh, yeah, they did. They led 2-0 and then 4-3. Firth has led all the way by as many as 12. It's now 10 as both shots are good by Caden Anderson. No shot clock. If Firth wants to, they can take the last shot of the first half. Adams with it. He'll go up top to Kilpack. Kilpack to Anderson. Anderson to Hall. They're playing like they're going to just look for the first open shot, not take the time off the clock. Hall now goes to Adams. Adams out in three-point lane. Goes to Arriaga. Arriaga to Hall. Hall fakes the three, goes inside to Adams. Up and in. Good defense again by Bear Lake. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Not a bad look from Caden Anderson there. Wouldn't have counted anyway, but he almost got it to go. 12-point game as we go to halftime. The Firth Cougars in front of your Bear Lake Bears by a score of 32-20. 20 is the kind of score you want in the first half if you're looking at the offensive side of things. The 32 points is what we don't like. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll catch our breath, let Lisa do some mathing on the stats here. We'll come back with those stats right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
I'm Ben Olson. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and just joined Bear Lake Memorial. I'm originally from here in Bear Lake, graduated in 1997, went to undergrad in Pocatello at Idaho State, went to med school in Missouri, residency in Ohio, practiced in Northeastern Oregon for the last 11 years. I'm excited to come back home. You kind of grow up doing a lot of outdoor stuff like hiking and hunting and fishing, and that's kind of what we would do as a family. Now, you know, as your kids get older, your life is focused around them, so then you chase them around with all their sporting activities, and that's been a lot of fun. Probably the thing I love the most is taking somebody that can't find relief and offering them a surgical alternative and seeing the change that can happen. My goal for my patients is to earn your trust and take you through that journey and offer them some relief from what they're suffering from.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I grew up in Provo, Utah, played football at BYU, medical school at the University of Utah, then did my residency at the Family Medicine Residency of Idaho, and then after residency came here. I love the beauty, the place geographically here. I love the people, and I love that there's a certain type of get-it-done person that lives here and thrives here. Really any sports me and my family love. Jet skiing, being on the lake, ATVs, power sports, that kind of stuff. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
This is your home for Bear Lake Bears basketball, live on SVI Media and The Wave, all a part of the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Bears trail at halftime by a score 32-20 on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Bears face the Firth Cougars' first game of the year. Firth won it by 10 down in Bear Lake. They lead by 12 here at halftime. Lisa, give us your stats. Who did the scoring for the Firth Cougars?
All right, leading in the scoring column is Anderson with 10 points. Adams with 8, 7 for Kilpack, 4 for Arriaga, and 3 for Hall. They're shooting 46% overall. They are 64% from the two-point range at 9 out of 14, 4 out of 14, 28% from the three-point line, and they're 2 for 6, 33% from the foul line. 14 rebounds, 7 of each in the first half. Nobody in foul trouble. They got several with 1. Hall has 1, Adams with 1, Jolly with 1, Kilpack with 1. But again, nobody in real trouble there. Firth outscored the Bears 19-12 in the first quarter, 13-8 in the second quarter. For Bear Lake, 5 points for Hume, 5 for Birch, 4 for Anderson, 4 for Keach, and 2 for Ewing. The Bears are shooting 40% overall, so not too far off overall percentage to the Firth 46%. The Bears are 6 out of 14, 42% from the two-point range, or 2 for 6 from the three-point, 33%, and 100%, 2 for 2, courtesy of Anderson from the foul line. They have 10 rebounds, 2 offensive, 8 defensive. And foul trouble for the Bears. Ewing with 3 fouls in the first half. Tafoya with 2. Warner, Hume, and Birch all with 1 each.
So the stat that kind of jumps out to me, that because it was my key to the game, was the three-point shooting. And the Bears only allowed 4 three-point makes from the Firth Cougars in the first half. So they didn't allow a lot. They allowed 7 total in Bear Lake, 4 so far in the first half here. But the problem was when they came. Every time the Bears almost fought back into it, looked like they were going to get back in the game, is when Firth made those three-point shots. So it's not about how many, it's about when. So far, the timing has just been there for the Firth Cougars. So that's the one stat that jumps off the page to me. And then the other stat that kind of jumped off the page to me was foul shots. The Bears have only had 1 opportunity from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line, and they did go 2 for 2. Anderson made them both, but you got to get to the foul line more than 2 times in a half. Last night in the second half, the Bears made their way to the foul line quite a bit. Hopefully they can do that again tonight, is find their way to the foul line and get some more opportunities from there. 2 3-point makes, 2 Phillips 66 3-point makes for the Bear Lake Bears in the first half. So 6 of the 10 points that make up the difference in the game are courtesy of the long ball. And so, like I said, it is a difference in the game, but the biggest difference is the timing, the kind of back-breaking shots.
2 offensive rebounds for the Bears is all in the first half. My thoughts there, you got to follow your shot. You got to be ready to back up. You got to be ready to rebound. Fight for every one of those rebounds, because an offensive rebound could lead to a second point or a second chance point. You got to fight harder underneath there for those rebounds.
I mean, you talk about timing. I think Bear Lake just simply has lacked in defensive integrity. They're 7 offensive rebounds to 2. I mean, Firth has 5 more, and it feels like it should be more than 5, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Some of those offensive rebounds for Firth have came in crucial times of this game, and I think that tells the story right there. I think Firth has been able to get some rebounds that should have been in Bear Lake's hands and then create buckets from an easy look after that. You have got to attack the inside. I said that in the pregame. You have to be physical inside. That was our biggest issue. Yes, you're giving up 3-point shots. You have to defend the perimeter, but you have to box out, and you have to be fundamental on the inside. You don't need to do anything special. Just get the ball so they don't get another chance. It's that simple, and if I'm Coach Trevor Ward at halftime, I'm preaching that to my team. You have got to get to the ball once it comes off the rim.
Yeah, the shooting percentage for Firth is not great. As Lisa pulls that
46%
back up, and especially the 3-point, 4 out of 14. But 3 of those came on the first possession. To your point that the both of you made on the offensive glass, the first 3 shots of the game were all taken by Firth. They were all 3-point shots. They were all misses, but they still were able to get 3 3-point shots off on that first possession before the Bears even touched the ball. And when you get those extra possessions, you can have a lower percentage in shooting and still be up in the game, and that's exactly what we've seen here in the first half. Is the Bear Lake Bears trail by 12, and the big stat, the 2 big stats are the extra couple 3-point shots, and then, like you guys said, the offensive rebounding.
I mean, you've just got to play smart inside. I think that's really the main thing. I think Bear Lake's played pretty good on the offensive side of the ball. You want to get to the line maybe a little bit more in the second half, maybe see a couple more shots, a couple more second chance points, but at the end of the day, you've just got to protect the paint. You've got to bring down those boards. I think if they can fix that in the second half, they could turn this game around. It's not too late, but they've got to be more aggressive on the rebounds.
Yeah, 15-point lead last night in the first half for North Fremont. The Bears came back and won that game. They can do it again here. Any last thoughts for you, Lisa, in the first half?
Yeah, I was just going to say last night Warner was lighting up the scoreboard. Tonight he's only taken 1 shot. Only 1 shot. I want to see that ball in Warner's hand. I want to see him taking those shots. On the flip side of that, though, he is leading the Bears in the rebounds. So he is working hard underneath to pull those rebounds down. Put the ball in his hands. Let him shoot.
Okay, we'll be back in 60 seconds with the start of the second half right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And by KVSI The Wave, the Bear Lake Valley's hit music station on 105.3 FM.
You're watching Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa on the SVI Sports Network.
32-20 on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard as we start the second half. Anderson over to Warner. And now inside to Birch, the foul line. He takes the jumper, spins the lane. He'll kick out to Hume for 3. Up high off the glass, no good. Looked good, just doesn't fall down. So the first attempt of the game in the second half, I should say, for Hume is no good, and it'll be Firth basketball as it hit the support wires at the top of the backboard is out of bounds. Hall to Arriaga. Arriaga gets double teamed, throws it away. Warner steps in. He'll take it all the way the other way. Arriaga knocks it away from him and gets the steal. So good defense by Arriaga there to get the ball right back for the Firth Cougars. Looked like Warner was able to get an easy two. Arriaga with the help defense. And now Hall will back it out to the center court circle, set the offense with 20 seconds on the shot clock. 7-12 left in the third quarter. In the corner it goes to Anderson. Anderson cross court to Hall. Hall drives the lane, cut off there by Anderson. Shot is missed. Anderson gets the rebound for Firth. Kilpack misses as well. Tip up by Arriaga. He misses. And now Anderson for Bear Lake comes down with the rebound. So there's those offensive rebounds you talk about. They didn't score, but they got 3 or 4 opportunities to score on that possession. Warner in the corner up top to Hume. Hume for 3. Yes, there's a Phillips 66 U-save make for Jack Hume. He's now got 8 points on the night. That's his second long ball. Hall at the center court circle to set the offense for the Cougars in a 9-point game, 32-23, according to your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard in favor of the Firth Cougars. Kilpack gets Keach in the air, then drives, misses. Caden Anderson with his second rebound already in the second half. And Anderson will bring the ball into the front court himself, go to Jack Hume. On the elbow in front of the Bear Lake bench, he goes to Birch. Birch will turn around. He'll shoot the 3. No good, looked good. And rebound goes to Arriaga for the Firth Cougars. And quickly up ahead to Adams. Adams side to Kilpack. Kilpack goes to Anderson. Anderson drives. And they're going to say it counts. And he's fouled.
That foul goes on Anderson, his first.
That was I won't say quite NBA continuation, but that whistle blew before the ball left his hand. They easily could have said that was on the floor. But they give Anderson the point, and he completes the 3-point play. So even though the Bears had cut it to 9, it's right back to 12 at 35-23. From the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line, Anderson completes the old-fashioned 3-point play for the Firth Cougars. He has 13 points on the night to lead all scorers. Hume spins down the lane, up off the glass, no good. Rebound to Anderson for the Cougars. And to Adams. Adams quickly up to Arriaga. Arriaga looks inside to Kilpack. Kilpack tries to spin against Keach. Keach, great defense there. And it goes out to Anderson. Now to Adams. Adams will reset the offense. Left-handed dribble over to the elbow. Now to Hall. Hall dribbles back to the top, goes to Kilpack. Top of the key over to Arriaga on the far side elbow. Arriaga lobs inside to Anderson. Too far under. He couldn't get it to go. And Hume comes down with the rebound. We're to 5:08 left in this third quarter. Each team has scored 3 in the quarter, so the lead is still 12 for the Firth Cougars at 35-23. Birch on the elbow. Looking inside, nothing there, so we'll go to Warner, then to Anderson. Anderson looking, tries to get it into Keach. Kilpack will take it away. He gives it to Arriaga. Here come the Cougars back to Kilpack. He can't control the pass, and then Birch will take it away and hand it to Hume. Bears come back the other way. Timeout, full timeout taken by Coach Trevor Ward. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
On the SVI Sports Network, this is Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa.
Bears have done what they wanted to start the second half defensively, as they have held the Firth Cougars just to 3 points in the first 3 minutes, 20 seconds of this second half. But unfortunately, they've only scored 3 points themselves, so this lead is right where it was at 12 for the Firth Cougars. As we come back in the third quarter, Bears down by a dozen. 4.5 minutes left to go as Warner gets it over to Anderson. Anderson looking inside. Nothing there. He'll drive. Spin it up off the backboard and in. Anderson was looking for the pass. It wasn't there, so he made the spin move and got it off the glass to cut the lead to 10. Caden Anderson, who had the game-sealing shot last night, now has 6 in the game tonight. In the corner it goes to Howell. Howell out to Adams. Adams with that quick release 3. Yep. He doesn't need a lot of space or a lot of time to get that off. Jim Ratt, coach's son. His dad's the head coach here, and he probably has spent his entire life in a gymnasium, and it shows. He's a good shooter. Inside it goes to Keach. Keach up with it, no good. And rebound is off of the Firth Cougars. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 38-25, biggest lead of the game for the Firth Cougars is 13. It's been 12 several times, but that three-point shot made it 13, which is the biggest lead for the Firth Cougars. Caden Anderson trying to inbound on the baseline. He'll lob it into Warner, and Birch will actually run it down. And they said Birch traveled with it before he passed it inside to Keach, so it will be a turnover for the Bear Lake Bears. And Firth, with that 13-point lead, will have the basketball. The Bears have played a decent game tonight. Firth has just taken advantage of every small little opening the Bears defense has allowed. Hall knocked away, foul by Keach. I thought he was going to get it, knock it away from Kilpack, but he gets called for the foul.
That's Keach's first. And the second team foul. Robinson is going to come in for Keach.
Gavin Robinson had a great performance last night in the game there at home. Was key to that comeback. Will come in. Hall hands it to Anderson. Anderson had a great night. He'll go down the lane, throws it to Kilpack. Kilpack wasn't quite ready for it. Rolls right back to Anderson. It's been that kind of night for the Bears, where Firth throws it away and then gets it back. 20-second shot clock. They got plenty of time. Adams with it. He'll go up top to Kilpack. Kilpack will drive. Robinson cuts him off. Great defense by Robinson. And that ball goes up off the backboard and is out of bounds. Robinson forced him to go baseline. And by the time Kilpack had a look at the hoop, he was behind it. And his shot goes off the backboard.
Kilpack comes to the bench for a quick breather. Coming in for him is, I didn't see who came in.
Howell, number 3, comes in.
Howell was already in there.
Oh. Then Arriaga, yeah, came back in. Tafoya with it. Oh, he loses it. It goes down the lane. Nice hustle play there by Warner to get it back. Now, nice hustle play by the Firth Cougars to force the jump ball. 2 hustle plays. Warner came diving out of nowhere. It looked like he was going to save the possession for the Bear Lake Bears. And then I think it was Anderson knocked it away from Tafoya to get it right back, forcing the jump ball. Hall will bring it across midcourt. The Firth Cougars with the 13-point lead and the ball. Adams being defended by Birch. Goes to Anderson. Anderson corner to Hall. Hall looking inside. Not there. He goes up top to Howell. Howell for 3.
Defended.
No good. Rebound goes to Caden Anderson. Anderson for the Bears brings it into the front court. He's got 3 second half rebounds. Up top to Foya, finds himself open for 3 for just a second. Doesn't take it, instead goes to Warner. Warner around the screen for Robinson. Mikes his way to the hoop. Up and in! Nice move. That's what you wanted, is to see Cason Warner more active on the offensive end. He gets the points there. Howell in the corner with it. Looking inside to Adams. And by the time he gets it to him, he's fouled. The ball goes out of bounds, but they call the foul on the Bears.
That goes on Birch. That'll be his second.
Leading scorer for the Bears on the court right now is Anderson. Leading scorer.
Hume is on the court.
The leading scorer.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Is for the Firth Cougars, as Adams misses inside, is actually Anderson. And Adams had a chance to tie him right there if he would have got that one to go. But another defensive rebound for the Bear Lake Bears, and Kurt Cason Warner goes inside to Robinson. Robinson goes back to Warner. Warner goes back to Robinson. Robinson's fouled. Good Offense is right there. Two-man game between Warner and Robinson draws the foul.
And Anderson credited for that foul, his first. Back in the game for the Cougars, Kilpack and Jolly replacing Hall and Anderson.
And Hume comes in for Anderson for Bear Lake. Tafoya throws it away. Arriaga goes up high and intercepts that pass. And here come the Cougars. The lead is 11 for Firth. Goes into Kilpack. Kilpack spins. Baseline jumper, no good. Off the side of the backboard. Warner played great defense and secures the defensive rebound there for the Bears. Hume walks across the center court line. He goes to Warner. Out on the elbow. Defended there by Kilpack. He'll go cross court to Tafoya. Tafoya in the corner to Hume. Hume, quick three. Yes! There's a Phillips 66 USA 3-point shot. Just like that, it's an 8-point game. 5 unanswered for the Bears. And 11 points in the game now for number 11, the sophomore Jack Hume. Arriaga with it now to Kilpack. Kilpack straight away from 3. No good. Rebound to Brox Birch. And he is tied up. I was trying to wait to see if they're going to call jump ball or a foul. They call it a jump ball, but it is Bear Lake basketball.
Ewing is coming into the game.
And the cheering you heard in the background, if you heard it, is because Coach Jesse Birch went out there and had to fix the net because Jack Hume's 3-point shot a minute ago had caught the net up on the rim. Bears down by 8 with the basketball. Tafoya will bring him in the front court. He goes to Hume. Hume for another 3. Can you go back to back? No. Long rebound goes to Arriaga. It was a good look. Would have brought this house down on the Bears side of things. It would have cut the lead to 5. Jolly goes in the corner to Howell. Howell up top to Kilpack. Kilpack to Adams. Adams to Jolly. Jolly to Arriaga to Kilpack. Kilpack out in 3-point range. Goes to Howell. 15-second shot clock as Adams backs it out and resets the offense. He'll hand to Howell. Howell dribbles up top, goes to Kilpack. Out in 3-point range. Now to Adams. And long 2, late in the shot clock. Goes!
I don't know how. He had a hand in his face. That was good defense by the Bears.
Bears couldn't have done anything better there. And 4 seconds left. Hume will go to the lane. And just a little bit too soft off the glass at the buzzer. Would have had a chance to cut it to 8. It's a 10-point game as we go to the fourth quarter in 60 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
With the helpful hardware, folks.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Your leader for live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports. This is the SVI Sports Network.
We're headed to the fourth quarter of the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Shows your Bear Lake Bears trailing by 10, 40-30. It was a 12-point game at halftime. It's a 10-point game now. The Bears have trailed by as many as 13. They cut it to 8 and had the ball with a chance to go cut it further in that late in that third quarter. But they couldn't do it, and the Firth Cougars pushed it right back to a 10-point game. Jolly inside with it. Back out to Kilpack. Kilpack over to Hall. Hall wide open for 3. No good. Rebound to Tate Ewing for the Bear Lake Bears. So the Bears get a stop on the first possession. Now need some points to cut into this lead as Jack Hume will go to Ewing. 4 sophomores on the court right now for the Bears and 1 junior, and that is Tafoya, who has the ball. He goes to Birch. Birch using the screen from Robinson. The ball's knocked away, taken away. Anderson will get it to Kilpack. Kilpack baseline. Bears recover defensively, and Hall will set the offense. 7:15 left to go in the game. Anderson up top to Kilpack. Now to Arriaga. Arriaga to Jolly. Open 3. No good. Tafoya with the rebound. So 2 good looks early in this first part of the third quarter for the Firth Cougars. They can't get either one of them to go. Hume makes his way down the lane, bullies his way into the basket, scores to cut the lead to 8 at 40-32. Lots of youth because there's Anderson, Hall, and Kilpack are all just sophomores for the Firth Cougars, and 4 sophomores out there for the Bear Lake Bears. So these two teams both very young, as Kilpack will go to Arriaga. Arriaga up to Anderson. Anderson over to Jolly. Jolly inside Arriaga. Shot blocked by Hume, but it'll send Arriaga to the line.
I still like it. I like that that defensive move right there.
The clean block up top, but he definitely caught him with the body. But he sends him to the line, makes him earn it from the foul line instead of the easy layup.
Yep.
Arriaga to the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. He'll shoot 2. 6:21 left in this ball game. The first one's off the front of the rim, no good. Adams, who, I'll tell you, the Bears have played him about as well as you can defensively, and he has found a way to score anyway. He has 13 in the game. That one he made right at the end of the third quarter. I don't know you can play better defense than that without committing a foul, and he still got it to go in. Arriaga will have one more. He missed the first, and he gets the second to go. So it's a 9-point game at 41-32 in favor of the Firth Cougars on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Caden Anderson replaced Tafoya between foul shots there. Jack Hume. Spin move down the lane. Tries to go to Birch. Anderson with a great defense just took it away. And Adams get away with it. Anderson for the Firth Cougars has had an excellent game tonight, and foul.
That one goes on Birch, his third.
Adams had the ball and with good position. Birch fouls him from the behind.
Warner coming back in, replacing Robinson.
The senior replaces the sophomore for the Bears. In the corner, it goes to Arriaga for 3. Wow. Hume was right there, too.
Yeah.
You can't.
They're shooters.
Yeah. You can't blame the Bears for that one. 12-point game just like that. And that was good defense. Hume was not fooled at all. Had a hand in his face. Just shot. Hume down the lane is fouled.
That one goes on Hall, his second.
Hume has been very aggressive in this fourth quarter, taking the ball to the hoop and got the layup the first time, draws the foul this time.
Howell coming into the game for Hall.
Hume will trigger baseline for the Bears, down by a dozen at 44-32. Ball's going to come into Ewing. Ewing looking inside to Warner, nothing there, so Birch will take it at the top of the key, set the offense down the lane. He goes to Ewing. Ewing, dribble handoff over to Anderson. Anderson being defended out there by Arriaga. Anderson goes down the lane, avoids the contact. Oh, good looking shot. It's just a little too much on it. Goes off the rim, and the rebound to the Firth Cougars. And now they'll slow it down with a 12-point lead here in the fourth quarter. In the corner, Anderson with it. Anderson up top to Kilpack. Kilpack to Howell. Howell inside. Anderson gets his man in the air and draws the foul. Anderson will go to the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. He'll shoot a pair.
And that will be Ewing's fourth foul.
For all your heating and air conditioning needs in the Bear Lake Valley, call Jacobson Mountain Air. 44-32 on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. The Bears going to have to rely on that Phillips 66 long ball if they're going to fight their way back in this one, as it's now tied for the game high. 13-point lead for the Firth Cougars as Anderson scores his 14th point to lead all scorers tonight, and he'll have one more. And that one hits every part of the rim before it falls down. But it's a 14-point game, which is the biggest lead of the night for the Firth Cougars, and Birch doesn't quite have a handle on it as he tries to get it to Hume and fumbles it out of bounds. Turnover for the Bears. 4:58 left, and Firth in control. Adams goes to Anderson. Anderson to Howell. Howell for 3. No. He has been cold from the outside, but the Firth Cougars get the rebound, and Adams will reset with 4:43 left. 25-second shot clock. In the corner it goes to Anderson. Anderson up top to Adams. Adams to Howell. Howell to Kilpack. Kilpack will go to Adams. Adams up top to Anderson. Down to a 10-second shot clock as it goes in the corner to Kilpack. He goes up top. Arriaga for three. Yes. Bears play 34 seconds of good defense, and the ball goes in the hoop. Anyways, Arriaga, he was deep, and there was a hand in his face, and the ball goes down anyway, 49-32, as the Firth Cougars pulling away right now from the Bear Lake Bears. The Bears had cut it to 8, and all of a sudden it's a 17-point game, which is the biggest lead of the game, as Anderson goes to Birch. Birch for the Phillips 66 U-Save three-point shot.
Nice
he
shot.
Answers. So 2 Phillips 66 U-Saves, three-point shots at both ends, where your convenience is our pleasure. Phillips 66 U-Save in Montpelier. It's still a 14-point game at 49-35. Inside Arriaga, wide open. They set a screen and mix up on the Bears defense as both guys went with the screener and with the screened man. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And the one setting the screen is the one that ends up wide open. Jump ball. As Hume and Arriaga, both wearing number 11, go to the floor. And Hume is getting up a little slow. I think he's okay.
He's holding his head.
He will check out, and Tafoya will replace him. Hume, the leading scorer in the game for the Bears, with 13 points on the night, goes to the bench. I think he's going to be okay, but he'll sit out for just a minute.
Just get the birds to quit flying around the top, and he'll be all right.
So Birch will trigger in front of the Bear Lake bench, lobs it into Anderson. And the trainer from Firth, want to say, give her a shout out and say thank you, comes right over to look at Jack Hume and evaluate him. Birch hands to Anderson. Anderson down the lane, gets it to Warner. Warner, nice move to get up and in.
Good job.
2 more for Warner, 4 points on the night for him. Bears, though, still down by 14 with 3 minutes left. Firth to Anderson in the corner. Up top, Kilpack, he'll shoot the three. Yes. Wow.
Can't leave him undefended out there.
And a lot of these
There are
three-point
shooters.
shots have been with a hand in the face. That one, Kilpack was wide open. He hasn't looked to shoot from 3, so I think the Bears were confident in backing off a little bit. And instead, he gets it to go. Birch inside, he'll go to the foul line. He'll shoot 2 from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line.
That one goes on Kilpack, his second.
Timeout taken. It's a full. We'll take it. 60-second timeout here on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
On the SVI Sports Network, this is Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa.
Bears trailing big, 54-37, and I got to give credit to Firth tonight. There's been times in the game where there's been some wide open looks for Firth, but the Bears defense has been better tonight, I think, than they've been in other games this year. Firth has just made every attempt they've had and been able to knock down those threes, sometimes even with hands in their face. And the 3-ball has been the difference in the game. They've had those Phillips 66 U-Save 3-point makes, and the Bears have struggled for those same opportunities. But now at the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line, Brox Birch gets his 9th point. He'll have a chance to get his 10th. 54-38 ball game in favor of the Firth Cougars, and Birch misses the second. Kilpack with the rebound. And Hall will bring the ball into the front court. It goes in the corner to Anderson. Anderson up top to Kilpack, to Arriaga, now to Adams. Can't leave him open. Yeah, that's why. And there wasn't much of a gap. In fact, by the time he released it, Birch had a hand right there. But there's just that, the screen gave him just enough of an opening. Anderson loses the ball as he goes down the lane. Kilpack with it. He's coming the other way. Layup, good. 59 points, that's what the Bears gave up in Bear Lake to Firth, and that's what Firth has right now. 38 for the Bears, so a 21-point lead. The Bears had cut it to 8, and bam, 21 points just like that. As Anderson knocks it away from Carlisle, who's in there, but it's out of bounds off of Anderson.
Trent coming into the game, replacing Kilpack.
So the Firth Cougars going to secure the win over the Bear Lake Bears tonight. The Bears had won last night. They lose tonight. They'll have a chance to redeem themselves against Grace, who took them to overtime in Bear Lake and then got the win. As Anderson gets it back, drives inside, shovels it over to Warner. Nice
Great
move
job
by Warner to get himself open. You asked for Warner to get more points. He's had 6 since you said that. But it's too little too late as the Bears down by 19 with a minute 28 left as Hall will get it over to Adams. Adams out to Hall in the corner. It goes to Anderson. Up top to Trent, over to Arriaga in the corner. Hall lobs it into Trent. He goes up, no good. And Warner with the rebound. Tafoya brings the ball across front court. The Bears with 1 minute left down by 19. Still fighting hard, still working hard as Carlisle looking inside, can't get it to Warner, so he'll come back to Birch. Birch up top, looking for a screen. He goes over to Anderson. Anderson looking inside to Warner. He'll get it to him. Warner spins down the lane, and he'll just come back out to Carlisle. Foul line jumper rattles in.
Good job.
So Carlisle with his first two points of the night?
Yeah, that was great defense by Firth to force that ball back outside. Carlisle on the ready. I liked it.
Anderson commits the foul in the backcourt. Bears had some fouls to give, and with 31 seconds left, Anderson just still trying to hustle, still trying to make plays, still trying to grow. This is a young Bear Lake team. They'll lose Warner and Keach next year, and assuming everybody else comes back and stays healthy. I mean, Bears had 4 sophomores on the court at one time tonight. This is a young Bear Lake team that's still fighting hard, still learning, still growing. Arriaga with it. And the Firth Cougars don't have to shoot. They can run out the clock if they choose to. Adams will say, nah, I'll shoot another 3. And you know what? Guess what? It went. Phillips 66 used a 3-point shot. Too bad. They've all been the Firth Cougars tonight from the 3-point line. 20-point game. Carlisle to Anderson. Anderson shoots the 3 for the Bears. Yes. So the Bears will end it. Buzzer beater. But when you're down by 20, it doesn't matter quite as much.
It's still a great shot.
It was a great shot. And the Phillips 66 USA 3-point shot goes. That's how the game will end, 62-45. The Firth Cougars get the win. Lisa, who did the damage for the Cougars?
All right, Anderson finished with 15. Oh, sorry, Adams with 19. He was the lead scorer. 15 for Anderson, 13 for Arriaga, 12 for Kilpack, 3 points for Hall. 44% shooting overall. They were 13 out of 27 two-point range at 48%, 10 for 25, 40% from the three-point range. 5 of those for Adams, by the way.
5 out of 7, 71% three-point shooting. That's just incredible shooting.
Yeah, 6 out of 11, 54% from the foul line. 23 rebounds, 10 of those were offensive. Great effort by Firth. They outscored the Bears 19-12 in the first, 13-8 in the second. Bear Lake outscored Firth 10-8 in the third quarter, and then it was all Firth 22-15 in the fourth for a final score of 62-45. For the Bears, Hume finished with 13, Birch with 9, Anderson with 9, Warner with 6, 2 for Carlisle, 2 for Ewing, and 4 for Keach. They shot 48% overall. They were 50% from the two-point range, 12 out of 24. They were 6 out of 13, 46% from the three-point line, and 3 out of 4, 75% from the foul line. 22 rebounds overall. Only 3 of those were offensive, though. So that's something to work on for next time.
Firth just cleaned up the boards.
Yeah, Firth did a great job underneath. Our kids were getting some great defensive rebounds, but struggling underneath on the offensive. 10 turnovers total for the Bears in the game, only 3 turnovers for Firth.
So the stat that jumps off the page for me, and it was my key to the game, is the three-point shooting. Firth had 10 out of 25 from the three-point line. Outscored the Bears total by 16 points with the three-point line and foul line combined. And when the final difference in the game is 17, with 16 of those 17-point difference, and it's actually got to be different than that because I did some math wrong somewhere, but that's the difference in the game, is the three-point shooting and the foul shooting. The Bears percentage-wise, outshot the Firth Cougars from the foul line, but the Firth Cougars got there a lot more. But the three-point shooting, especially with the hand in your face, Firth was 10, as Coach Ward puts his headset on with us, 10 out of 25 for Firth from three-point line. And a lot of those were contested. 2 or 3 of them, they got open looks, which you're going to get open looks from 3 because the defense doesn't necessarily focus on the three-point line. But especially Adams, he was 5 out of 7, and I probably bet out of those 7 three-point attempts, 4 of those, only maybe 3 or 4 of those were open. The other 3 or 4 or 5, man in his face.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about that.
Yeah. It's a familiar feeling coming back here. Last year they dropped about 11 threes on us as well, and they shoot well. That's what happens when you go against a good shooting team. We feel like our man defense is the best way to close out and put pressure on the shot, and we struggled to talk tonight. We got things we were working on to try and play team defense, and I felt like the third quarter was our best quarter.
It was.
We played pretty good team defense, and that's what we're trying to get out of them, to play a full basketball game like that, to talk, to do all the little things, help side defense, hands up, switch if it needs to, and that requires talking. So we need to get louder.
I talked a lot about in this game during the broadcast, and now you just confirmed it. There's things you're working on as a team trying to grow. These wins and losses at this point in the year actually don't matter. The ones that matter are the late January, early February games when you get a chance to earn your way to state if possible. And you got a young team. At one point in the game, you had 4 sophomores on the court together, and that was actually in the third quarter when you made a little bit of a run. So that's a good thing. A lot of growth. We mentioned last night Gavin Robinson. He had a decent game out there again tonight. Brox Birch, if I was going to give a gritty performance tonight, Birch would be right up there. Caden Anderson, he's a junior. That's not who I meant. Jack Hume. Caden Anderson played great, but Jack Hume, one of the other sophomores, because that's where I was going, again led you in scoring for the second night in a row. Just you're a young team that's growing, learning to play together, learning to play varsity, because most of these kids were either JV or even freshman players last year. I think Carlisle and Ewing played mostly freshman ball last year, didn't even play JV, and that's who you're relying on. So you had a lot of growth, a lot of room for growth, and there's definitely some things that are getting better. What do you look for between now and Friday when you play Grace?
We got one day to prepare, so we'll watch film, make sure we're ready for them. They can shoot the 3 ball as well, and they're a big, tough bunch of kids too. So it'll be a physical game. We got to be ready for it.
That game went to overtime in Bear Lake, second game of the year. In fact, this is reminiscent of the way the year started. You played Firth to start the year. You played your second game against Grace this week. You play Firth tonight. You go right into the Grace game. That one was a close, hard-fought game in overtime, so it could be a good one. We won't be there with SVI because we got to choose sometimes between girls and boys, and that night we're going to be with the girls. But good luck Friday in Grace, and good performance in some ways. Like you said, third quarter good, lots of growth. Looking for good things going forward.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up, Coach.
Yep.
All right, that's going to wrap it up.
I did see one stat that I want to throw out. Probably should have brought it up with the coach, but Firth took 52 shots overall in the game. Bear Lake, 37. So there's your difference, because the shooting percentage was actually pretty close as far as how they ended out. Bear Lake shot 48% overall. Firth shot 44% overall, but they just took a heck of a lot more shots. 15 more.
Turnovers and offensive rebounds lead to those extra possessions, and so even if you don't shoot well, that's where the difference in the game. So that's a great stat to point out. I wouldn't have noticed that one. Thanks, Lise. All right. Thank you to our excellent cameraman, Ray Henry. He's already got his camera away and chomping the bit to get out of here.
He's hungry.
Chris Pratt back in the studio in Bear Lake. And Nate pushing the buttons and making us look good. And for everybody else on the SVI Sports Network, this is
Nate Matthews,
Lisa Hilliard,
and Jared Hilliard saying
good night,
everybody.